Update. Sam Heughan announces end of all relationship with Katrina. Balfe. Hollywood woke up to a media storm. A simple but shocking tweet from actor Sam Heughan's official account spread like wildfire. I would like to state unequivocally that, as of this writing, I have severed all professional and personal ties with Katrina. Balfe. Please respect this decision. No one could have predicted what would happen. Sam and Katrina, the golden couple of the Outlander series, a symbol of friendship, professionalism, and trust for millions of fans around the world, suddenly broke like a glass bulb falling on marble. Within an hour, hashtags like #SamHeughan, #Katrina Balfe, #Outlander Drama, and #Unfollowed climbed to the top of Twitter worldwide. Tabloids, fan forums, and media analysts began to search for the real reason behind the cold announcement. Inside the Stars lockdown, 3 days before the tweet, the tension in a secluded conference room at STARZ's Los Angeles headquarters was so intense it could have been cut with a knife. Katrina sat silently, her arms folded, her gaze cold as steel. Sam stood opposite, his face red, his forehead beaded with sweat. You knew this was going to blow everything up, so why did you do it? He asked, his voice hissing through his teeth. Because I can't pretend anymore, Sam, Katrina replied, coldly. I'm tired of acting, not just in front of the camera, but in real life. The dispute stemmed from a new film project, Fading Light, where Katrina had signed on to star without telling Sam, despite their previous promise to prioritize projects together after Outlander ended. But the real reason is deeper than that. Rumors that are not rumors. In the entertainment industry, rumors often have fire without smoke. Since late 2024, some staff members of the Outlander Season 8 crew revealed that the relationship between Sam and Katrina has seriously cracked. There are no more lunches together, no more intimate jokes like before, an anonymous assistant director revealed. They only communicate through secretaries. There was a day when they were filming a love scene, and they both looked at each other like enemies. It was so tense that everyone on the crew had to stay quiet. The story was spiced up by a leaked video, recording Katrina shouting loudly in the dressing room, "You are not the center of the universe, Sam. It's time for you to accept that." Fans were in an uproar. Some defended Katrina, saying that she was overshadowed by Sam's huge shadow. Others supported Sam, insisting he had always been a kind, calm person. But then, that tweet changed everything. The domino effect. After the tweet was posted, major news outlets such as Variety, The Hollywood Reporter, and the BBC all reported the news. Stars issued an official statement confirming that there would be no reunion projects between the two stars in the near future. A domino effect began. Brands that had sponsored both of them stopped working together. The script for a new TV project from Amazon Studios, which had wanted to shock them by casting them together as a divorced couple, was cancelled. And fans, hurt like children witnessing their parents' divorce, split into two camps. But it didn't stop there. The Forgotten Diary. 4 days after the shocking tweet, an elderly woman named Eleanor Byrne appeared on a Dublin morning talk show, clutching a worn leather-bound diary. "I'm Katrina's aunt," she said, her voice breaking. "And I think it's time to tell the truth." Eleanor revealed that Katrina had fallen into depression in 2018 after being bullied on set by a big director. The only person who could help her get back on her feet at the time was Sam. But according to her diary, their relationship had gone beyond friendship. She loved him, Eleanor said. Really, but Sam didn't. He was nice, but it was one-sided. The wound never healed, and when the two were forced to continue working together for 7 years, old feelings resurfaced, not for love, but for resentment. Eleanor Byrne's diary was not only shocking, but also opened a window into a world that audiences had never seen before, the dark side behind the spotlight. A passage from the diary was widely shared on social media. I remember the day he took my hand in the dressing room and said, "Kat, if things had been different, I might have chosen you." But then the next morning, he sent me the script for the scene and acted like nothing had happened. I laughed, I acted, but inside I was broken. The public was in an uproar. The incident was no longer about collaboration or professional disagreement. It touched on human emotions, things that are only thought to happen in television. Sam Heughan has remained silent since his initial tweet. Meanwhile, Katrina Balfe has not made any official statement. The silence was interpreted in many ways. Some called it noble, others saw it as avoiding responsibility. A secret front formed between two fandoms that were once one, the one-sided press conference. On July 12, Sam appeared at a press conference in Edinburgh. He wore a light grey suit, his hair neatly combed, his face noticeably thinner. Reporters jostled, cameras blared continuously. Sam sat in front of a series of microphones, looked straight into the live television lens and said, "I'm not here to accuse anyone. I just want to say that I can no longer maintain any relationship with Katrina Balfe that doesn't hurt both of us. I respect her. I loved her very much. But not all wounds can be healed by professionalism." The whole room fell silent. No one expected him to publicly admit to a past relationship, even if it wasn't clearly romantic. A reporter asked, "Do you regret not being with her?" Sam replied, "Regrets don't change the present." That answer became the most viral quote of the week. The call of the dark. That night, Katrina called her agent in London. She said simply, "Press conference tomorrow." Alone. The next morning, Katrina appeared in a live interview on BBC One Morning. No heavy makeup, no script. She sat silently for a few seconds before saying, "There are stories that should be kept between two people. But if it's a one-sided public thing, I need to say my part too." She talked about the pressure of being a woman in a male-dominated industry. About being labeled as Sam's shadow, even though they always tried to contribute equally. She says she doesn't blame Sam, but it's time for them to go their separate ways. "I don't hate him, but we've gone too far to go back to being just friends." A tear silently falls down her cheek. Just one. Decoding the breakup. In a special podcast called Outlander, Behind the Legends, longtime series producer Martha Keller opens up for the first time about working with the two. Sam and Kat are great actors, but they're so similar. They're both very introverted, and they hold things in and don't say 'em out loud. One unsaid word, accumulated over the years, is the thing that ruins everything. She also confirms that in the final year of filming, Sam filed a request to change his co-star in a sensitive scene, saying he wasn't emotionally ready to act. That, she says, was the point of no return. Behind the scenes of a photo, the last photo of Sam and Katrina together has gone viral. It was at the 2024 Outlander closing ceremony. In the photo, the two stood side by side, smiling brightly. But a person who worked on the event revealed, right after the photo was taken, they turned and walked in opposite directions. Neither said goodbye. By this time, fans were slowly accepting the reality: a chapter had closed. Not in anger, but in exhaustion. After days of turmoil, the online community began to send words of encouragement instead of criticism. A new hashtag appeared, #LetThemHeal.